What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching these videos. We've been talking about podcasting and how important it is to have a podcast. In this particular video, as we make our way through the 6 steps, we're going to talk about gear. This might be the reason why you started watching these videos, and you're probably saying it's about time, but we're going to talk about the exact equipment that you're going to need to record a podcast. So I personally like to buy all my equipment at Sweetwater or Amazon, but mostly Sweetwater. I really like Sweetwater sound. They have great customer service. They also add an additional year to the manufacturer's warranty, I think, on most products. Really encourage you to buy your gear at Sweetwater. Let's go over to the website. I'm going to show you just a handful of things that you're going to need to start recording your podcast. Okay, so here I'm at the Sweetwater website, and you can see one of the first things that I encourage everybody to purchase is a Rodecaster Pro. This device, gosh, you would not believe all the things that are inside of this little box. This is going to allow you to record up to 4 guests, as well as a person coming in via Bluetooth on the phone. So if you've got remote guests, you've got a headphone amp in here. It's got processing to make your voice sound amazing. Even samples. I mean, there's just so much stuff in the Rodecaster Pro. This is a little bit on the spendy side. As you can see, I think at the time of this recording, about $700 for one of these units. Well worth the money, I will tell you. But if that's a little bit more than you want to spend, you could go with something like the Zoom PodTrak. You'll notice the reason I like the Zoom PodTrak is it does have balanced inputs. So no adapters. Your microphone cables will just go directly into the PodTrak. The PodTrak is a decent unit. It's not going to have the same kind of audio processing, the AFX processing right here, you'll notice, and preamps that the Rodecaster has. To get that studio sound, I would tell you definitely check out the Rodecaster. If budget is a concern, check out Zoom. Your producer, hopefully his productions, can help you make the recordings that come out of a Zoom sound amazing. Obviously, the thing you're going to need to connect between your microphones and these devices, whether it's the Zoom or the PodTrak, will be XLR mic cables. Basic things. Buy the length that you need wherever you're going to have this unit. Generally, 10-foot cables are plenty of space. The next thing that you're going to need to consider is a Shure SM7B microphone. This particular microphone is coupled with the Cloudlifter. Now, we really like the Cloudlifter because it takes the sound of the SM7B to another level. Definitely encourage you, if you're going to buy the SM7B, check out the Cloudlifter. I have heard some people say that the Rodecaster Pro 2, I happen to have the first gen unit. The Pro 2 does not require a Cloudlifter. It sounds amazing through the Rodecaster just as it is. I've yet to test that out, but it could be true. This is definitely the microphone that we encourage people to use. Now, as you can see from this video, there's no microphone sitting in my face. Right in front of me here is a shotgun microphone. When I'm making videos, I don't really want things like mics in my face. I kind of want things to be open like this so that I can talk to you. So if you want to do something really aesthetic, you might consider a shotgun microphone. We could talk a little bit more about that if you wanted to book a consultation. The reason why is because a shotgun microphone introduces a whole bunch of other things into the discussion, particularly the sound of the room. I'm in an acoustically tuned studio. There's a reason the shotgun mic works in this room versus an SM7B. Long talk. We won't go there. The Shure SM7B is going to be a fantastic microphone. In fact, if you watch very many podcasts on YouTube, you'll notice that most podcasters, this is the mic they use. There's a reason why, because it sounds absolutely amazing. Now, you'll notice that the SM7B with the Cloudlifter, with a mic stand and a couple of cables, man, you're looking at $600. So imagine you've got 4 guests. It's $2,400 just in microphones. Get a little bit spendy. Well worth the money. We would tell you, if you have the budget for the SM7Bs, buy them. You won't be sorry. I use these personally to record podcasts all the time of different clients here at His Productions. On site, we'll take this exact equipment that I'm showing you. But if budget is a concern, kind of like we talked about with the Zoom PodTrak, check out the Rode Pod Mics. Okay, these are $99, $100 microphones. I've also used these microphones. They sound really good. Do they sound as good as the Shure SM7B? No. Do they sound as good as a Sennheiser 416 shotgun microphone? No. But they sound really, really, really good. It's kind of what your dad used to tell you. You get what you pay for, right? This isn't going to be bad sound, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to sound like an SM7B. The other thing that you may need, depending, especially if you're bringing guests in via Bluetooth, you may need some headphones. Remember, everything that I'm showing you, microphones, headphones, and cables, all of these things need to be multiplied by the number of guests you have. If you want to have 4 guests on your podcast, you need 4 mics. You need 4 batches of cables. You're going to need 4 sets of headphones, right? You're going to need all of these things to make sure you've got enough for 4 people. If you only have 2 people, then 2. You can do the math. We really like these Audio-Technica ATH-M40x closed-backed headphones. You can see 124 4.5-star reviews. We have 5 or 6 sets of these here in the studio. They get used all the time. We like them. They're sturdy. They sound decent. They're closed back, so going to keep a lot of noise out. The last thing that you're going to need to do, and you actually saw a sneak peek of this item. This is the Elgato mic scissor stand, okay? And you could get this, it's Elgato Wave Mic Arm. I personally really like the Elgato arm versus a scissor boom, which is traditional for broadcast and traditional for podcast, because it's just a little bit more aesthetic. So if I'm doing some voiceover work, you can see it just kind of stays out of the way rather than a big podcast arm sticking down here in my face. So guys, these are the things that we would encourage you to check out. Remember, you're going to need a recording device. You're going to need cables. You're going to need microphones. You're going to need headphones. And you're going to need a decent place to record. So we're going to talk more about that. But if you have any questions about the equipment that you need, feel free to reach out. We can talk more.